The desert, in its vastness, is a place of solitude, of a silence so profound that it seems to stretch beyond the reach of time itself. I stand on the edge of this great expanse, the golden sand stretching endlessly before me, and feel as if I have stepped into another world, one where the rhythm of life is not measured by clocks or by the movement of people, but by the slow, deliberate pull of the sun, the shifting of the earth, and the occasional breath of wind. The air here is dry, almost brittle, carrying the scent of dust and heat. It has a texture to it, a weight that fills the lungs with each inhale. Each breath is a reminder that life here exists not in abundance, but in a delicate balance, where every drop of water, every whisper of shade, is a precious gift. The sky above is vast, an endless sweep of blue that feels both near and impossibly far, and the sun, unrelenting in its strength, bathes the desert in light so bright it almost feels as though the earth itself might burst into flame. There is a stillness here, a quiet that seems to hang in the air like a thick blanket, enveloping everything. The wind, when it comes, is a soft, dry exhale, moving the sand in gentle ripples across the dunes, but its presence is fleeting, as if even the desert itself is reluctant to disturb the quiet. And yet, despite this stillness, there is a sense of life, of movement, if one knows where to look. The smallest of creatures, an insect, a lizard, moves with careful, deliberate steps, each one aware of the great emptiness around it, moving only when it is certain, when the timing is right. I begin my walk across the desert floor, the sand shifting beneath my feet with every step. It is soft, yet firm, as though it holds within it the weight of centuries, of histories lost to time. The heat rises from the earth in shimmering waves, distorting the view of the world ahead, making it appear as though everything is floating just above the ground. The horizon, where the land meets the sky, feels both close and impossibly far, as if the desert itself is pulling me toward it, inviting me to move deeper into its heart. As I walk, the landscape changes subtly with each step. The dunes, which once seemed endless, now begin to shift in shape, their curves soft and inviting, like the gentle rise and fall of a slow breath. The shadows cast by the dunes stretch long and languid, a contrast to the harshness of the sun. There is a rhythm to this landscape, a slow, unhurried dance between light and shadow, between heat and coolness, between the earth and the sky. And as I move, I find myself caught in it, my own breath matching the rhythm of the world around me. The desert is not a place of overt beauty, but a quiet, understated one. The colors here are muted, subtle, earth tones that blend together so seamlessly that they almost disappear into one another. The sand, at first glance, is a simple golden hue, but as the light shifts, it takes on shades of red, of orange, of deep brown, as though the earth itself is shifting in color to match the ever-changing sky. The few sparse plants that cling to life here, cacti, scraggly bushes, are not bold or grand in their appearance, but they speak of resilience, of endurance. Their shapes are simple, almost abstract, yet there is a quiet elegance in their survival, in their stubborn refusal to let go of this arid world. There is a moment when I stop walking, when the landscape before me seems to open up completely, as if the earth is inviting me to see it in its entirety. The dunes, the rocks, the scattered patches of dry brush, all of it stretches out before me, an endless sea of sand and stone. The emptiness here is not desolate, but rather filled with the promise of something unspoken, something deeper. There is a sense of space, of room to breathe, of room to exist without the weight of the world pressing in. In the desert, the world is quiet, yes, but in that quiet, there is an underlying hum, a vibration that fills the very air, the very ground. I turn my gaze toward the mountains in the distance, their jagged peaks standing tall against the sky. They are ancient, timeless, worn by wind and weather, but still they remain, holding steadfast against the ravages of time. The mountains have seen everything, have witnessed the passing of countless seasons, and still they stand, silent and unmoving, as if to remind me of the permanence of this place. They are a quiet monument to the endurance of the desert itself, a place where time feels suspended, where the land holds the weight of history in the dust beneath my feet. A slight breeze picks up, lifting the fine grains of sand into the air, sending them swirling around me like a delicate dance. The wind carries with it the faintest scent of sagebrush, a smell so subtle, so faint, that it almost feels like a memory, a distant echo of something once known. The scent is sharp and clean, yet earthy, and it fills my senses with a sense of calm, of belonging. It is a reminder that even in the most barren of landscapes, there is life, there is growth, there is an undeniable sense of existence. I sit for a moment, the sand warm beneath me, and close my eyes. The sound of the wind becomes clearer, its soft whisper moving across the landscape, carrying with it the secrets of the desert. It is a sound that is both intimate and distant, as if the wind itself is speaking to the earth, and the earth is listening in return. It is a sound that carries the weight of history, of a time when this land was not empty but full, full of life, full of water, full of possibility. It is as if the desert, in its timeless grace, has shifted once more, settling into the embrace of twilight. As the darkness deepens, the stars begin to appear, pinpricks of light scattered across the vast expanse of the sky. The desert, in the stillness of night, becomes a place of infinite possibility, where the silence speaks volumes, and the beauty is not in what is seen, but in what is felt. The night is a quiet companion, a reminder that the desert's true nature is not just in the land, but in the space between the stars, in the breath of the wind, in the stillness that fills the earth. And as I stand there, beneath the infinite sky, I feel the desert's quiet embrace. It is a place that does not need to be understood, but only experienced, felt in the very marrow of my bones. It is a place where the soul finds room to breathe, to be still, to exist without urgency or expectation. And in that stillness, in that quiet, I find myself quiet, yet alive, as timeless as the desert itself.